In a world where podcasts are mediocre, four guys joined forces and created the greatest podcast ever. The names of these legends are Matt the Prat, Marc the Lion, Addison the Wolf, and Sam the Turkey. You're listening to The Tepid Take.
So hello and welcome to episode 10. We made it, guys. Episode 10. How does it feel?
Well, I think we could probably finish now. Now we've done 10.
Yeah.
And
That's a wrap. There we are. Made it to 10. I mean...
It's 15 hours, approximately, of
Oh, yeah.
us talking.
Maths.
Yeah. I worked it out the other day. I didn't work that out just now.
I was like, Jesus Christ, man. I know you got an A level in maths, but Jesus.
It might not even be right, to be fair. It was just an off thought.
How's everyone coping with the heat? I know, Addison, you're not as
yeah, it's
bad
not very warm
where you
here
are.
today. So I'm
God.
all
I
good.
kind of envy you,
Jealous.
actually.
It's actually like, it's not that sunny here today, but this is definitely the hottest day, I think.
How
Yeah,
hot
it's
is
been
it where
this
you
week.
guys are?
It's a proper muggy one today.
It really is. It's awful.
Yeah, see, we had mugginess yesterday, and it's actually raining now. So
Oh my God. I literally, I'm taking
Oh.
my fan to like every single room in the house. It just follows me. I've got it behind me right now.
I was going to say I have that same fan.
I
Sam,
do.
I think he's your biggest fan.
Number one fan of the Tepid Take.
An actual fan.
Right, so main topic for today is we're going to be covering E3. We're also going to touch a little bit on Summer Game Fest. Is that what it's called? What's
Something
the name
like
of that?
that, yeah.
Well,
Summer Game.
yeah, Summer Game Fest is kind of ongoing, isn't it? It's still,
Yeah,
there's still some bits left of it.
Still
Yeah.
summer left.
we'll
Yeah.
talk about the big announcement from that. But first, we got a few personal topics to talk about. Sounds like you've had to talk about something really deep. Not something personal about yourself.
Today I'm going to talk about life.
Well, we know Matt's dad beats him, so
For God's sake.
at golf. At golf.
That is a reference to the last episode. That is not a real thing.
Yeah, yeah. I bet your dad listens to this as well, doesn't he?
No, I've only just gotten into use Spotify.
Oh, okay. He's getting there.
It's on
He's getting there.
Spotify.
It is.
on Spotify, yeah, but he doesn't listen to podcasts.
And on Apple Podcasts.
I hope he does
Little
listen
plug
to that
there.
one. I quite enjoyed that joke.
I'm pretty sure he's never listened to a podcast in his life
Well,
and never
time
will.
to start.
Time to start.
Yeah.
So let's start with Addison today. What you been watching?
I thought you were going to
well,
start with
okay.
me. I thought you were going to start
I
with
had-
me, to be fair, because it always starts with me.
I know. I thought I'd switch things up.
Yes.
I was not expecting it to come to me first.
Addison, go.
So I have watched the first two episodes of Loki on Disney Plus.
Nice.
The second episode of which just came out today.
Yeah.
Date the podcast.
Yep.
They are the podcast. So this series follows Loki from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It's an alternate Loki who
It's an ultimate. I was like,
Ultimate Loki.
Ultimate. No, this isn't in my final form.
so it follows the Loki that in Avengers Endgame
Yep.
grabbed the Tesseract or the Space Stone, I want to say.
Oh, which one is it? Yeah, I always forget which one the
I think it's
Tesseract
the
is.
Space Stone. The blue one.
It makes sense.
Space
Teleportation, isn't it?
Is it
I'm
Space
pretty sure it's the
Stone?
Space Stone. Yeah.
That sounds shit,
I don't-
doesn't it?
No. I think it sounds rubbish. Yeah, because it's teleportation. So it must
Yeah,
be space.
yeah.
It is a Space Stone. That sounds like an awful
then
name.
The
That's why they
Loki
call it
Pokey stick
Tesseract.
is the mind gem.
Yes, the Loki Pokey stick is the mind gem, which
Yeah.
he doesn't have.
No,
at
no.
the
not
beginning
this
of
one.
this series.
Oh.
So he grabs the Tesseract, teleports away in Endgame, and it basically follows on directly from where he ends up. Kind of. So it's kind of like a time travel TV, almost like a cop drama.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that
Thing
actually
going
today
on.
when I was watching it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
So is everyone caught up on the two episodes?
I am.
No.
Right.
Nope.
Mark has
No.
watched none of it.
I've been a
So
little bit distracted.
We'll avoid spoilers as much as possible.
Yeah.
Not that there's many.
What have you guys thought of it so far?
I'm liking it. It really took me a lot to watch this one. Like, I think if we didn't have the podcast, I probably would have waited for the whole series to come out. But I thought,
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one because despite him probably being my favorite character out of the ones who have had these TV shows so far, I never really watched any of the trailers, and it's definitely the one I was least aware of or excited for.
yeah,
But not for any particular reason.
yeah, and it kind of like just suddenly appeared. I remember like just all of a
Yeah.
sudden being like, oh my god, like Loki, first episode. Of
I
Loki
think
coming out.
I think it was actually Sam. Yeah, you said last Wednesday
Yeah,
or whatever that it was out, and I was like, oh, I thought we had like 2 months on that. What?
Wait, so it's every Wednesday now?
yeah, and it
That's
throws
yeah.
me every time.
Oh,
Yeah, because
So
Disney
there-
Plus is all Fridays, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
not anymore because
No.
apparently, due to the success of this, they will be releasing a lot of their TV shows on Wednesdays
Ooh,
and their films on Fridays.
oh, okay,
Read today.
interesting.
TV Wednesday,
Interesting.
First Friday.
So apparently Loki's doing pretty well.
Yeah,
I can see why it's good, and it's a fan favorite character.
Mm.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
Tom Hiddleston is brilliant in it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. He's just funny.
He's designed to play that character, I feel.
yeah. It really
absolutely.
is perfectly
He
cast.
suits it so well, and it's nice going back to the slightly eviler Loki of
Yeah,
Avengers.
Yeah.
Because they definitely toned him down a bit by Ragnarok. Like he was a bit more mischievous, would be the word you use.
yeah, yeah.
As they do in the show quite a bit as well. So it's nice kind of going back to that.
So would you say
slightly
he's
eviler.
low-key evil?
Yeah, I would.
There's a There's a few times in
Would you
the
want to
show
say that though?
when they say low key something, and I'm like, did I like I've misheard them as saying low key, and I'm like, oh no, Loki, right? Yeah, I get it. Okay,
They've done that on purpose, 100%.
they must.
Oh,
They must have.
absolutely.
Yeah. No one says that normally.
What do you think of
Um,
Owen Wilson so far?
He's in it way more than I was expecting. I thought he was going to be a cameo character.
Yeah,
But he is essentially the
Wow.
second lead so far.
Yeah, he is really. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's good.
playing Owen Wilson, but
Yeah,
it works.
absolutely. But yeah, what else do you want from Owen
He's
Wilson?
a charming
really?
fella. He does this. I've noticed Owen Wilson. He does this incredible thing where, like, when he talks, it's almost like he's whispering, but really intensely.
Yeah,
I don't know how he does it.
it's like a lot of air going out at once, but almost quietly.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I believe in Loki.
Outside of like the story and acting, have you guys found it to be quite a visually dark show?
Yeah.
Because I started episode 2, and there was a fight scene right at the beginning. I'm not sure whether it's just because I normally watch these in the evening, and this was during the middle of the day, but I couldn't see shit.
Oh, really? So
Yeah,
far,
I had no idea what was going on.
so far it's been. I definitely recognise like the colours are a lot darker in this one.
Yeah, it's definitely dulled down.
There's definitely a muted tone to it.
Yeah,
It's almost like they've taken the blacks and kind of made them a bit grayer.
yeah, definitely. But there hasn't been. Maybe it's because I'm living like a vampire at the moment. I've just got the curtains closed to block out the sunlight. So maybe that helped.
Yeah, see, when I started out, I had them wide open, so maybe it was just the way I had it set up today.
Yeah. What do you think about it's hard to. I'm trying to talk about it without giving away too
Yeah.
many spoilers, but
It's probably one we'll talk about when it's all wrapped up, and then we'll go into spoilers a little bit more.
yeah, that's true. That's
Um,
true. But I'm definitely like I said, like with me, like it really took a lot for me to watch this one, but I'm glad I am because I've really actually enjoyed the concept.
Yeah,
Because I was a bit worried, like, because when they announced the Loki show, obviously, in Infinity War, Loki dies at the start of that, and I obviously knew, like, okay, this is kind of a different Loki, but it did feel a bit like a cop out in a way. I was like, oh, for God's sake,
Yeah.
they found a way to bring him back. But so far, how they're doing it, I'm like, okay, I
Yeah,
think this
they're-
could work.
It feels like there's a
getting
reason
around that very well.
Yeah, it feels like there's a
I
reason
find.
for him to come back in this show.
Yeah,
It's exploring paths that I didn't think would. I didn't expect this. I don't think it's definitely a
no,
different show.
I as I said, I didn't really watch any trailers. I probably caught one at some point,
Mm.
but I had no real idea of what the concept was. and I kind of love the way they're going with it. And I'm interested to find out where it's heading.
Yeah.
And there was something that happened in the end of the second episode where I went,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I kind of predicted it because I saw someone had written something about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is that predicting or
Yeah,
is it just reading?
No, because I can't
was
spoil it.
spoiled
I
for
can't
me.
say why.
Yeah,
It wasn't
yeah.
a direct link, but
Yeah.
It's one of those
pieced it
ones. As
together.
soon as you watch it, you'll know kind of what we're alluding to.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's one big thing that is revealed, I guess.
At
Yeah.
the end, yeah, definitely.
But we'll leave it there, I think.
So how many episodes is it set to be?
6, I believe, and there are 2 out.
So they're going for the same format. As
Yeah.
Yeah, more along that line than because WandaVision had 10, right?
WandaVision was
9.
9.
Okay.
Yeah. Weird numbers.
Yeah. Just a quick one on it.
Maybe it means.
Had you guys heard of what's this like? Keep getting
Uh,
time variant.
TVA?
Yeah, time variant something.
No,
Time
I'd not
variant.
heard of it, but I don't really.
Authority.
Maybe.
Something like
Yeah,
Time
that sounds
Variance
right.
Authority
Yeah,
sounds
time
right.
variant authority.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I don't read comics or too much.
Yeah.
Like that, so it wasn't anything I'd come across.
comics.
But then even not reading, I'd heard of like AIM and Sword and Shield. So
Yeah, same.
maybe,
Yeah,
Like I feel
yeah.
like this is the first kind of organization where I'm like, has this actually been made for the MCU, or is this like deep comic knowledge?
there seems to be too much going on that it's made up for this.
Yeah, definitely.
Hmm.
But
Yeah, enjoying it so far. Kind of
Yeah.
looking forward to discuss it properly with
Definitely.
spoilers and such once we've all kind of caught up
Yeah.
on it.
It'd be interesting to see where it goes.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's going to lead on to something which is eventually going to, go into the films, I guess.
Yeah. At the
Yeah.
moment,
Yeah.
they seem to be knocking out the park with these TV shows. They're pretty much at this point 2 episodes in, 3 for 3. So
yeah, definitely.
I'm
Yeah,
excited.
yeah. Definitely, yeah. I imagine
Personally.
it's going to be hard to fuck it up, to be honest.
Yeah.
Mm,
They just
Yeah.
seem to know exactly what they're doing with these characters. And
they got their formula
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
haven't they?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it seemed to, yeah.
Yeah, but they're breaking that formula, I think.
Yeah,
They do have a formula, but they're definitely bending and breaking it in some places.
yeah, that's true. Especially with this phase,
Yeah.
they're risking a lot more. I feel.
Well, we've only got
Mm.
TV shows from this phase so far.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it? Actually,
Yeah.
it's gonna be interesting to see. Sorry, I know we keep trying to lead the topic, but it's gonna be interesting to when like the next big film comes out. I wonder how people will handle it who haven't watched the TV shows, like whether they're gonna have to do a bunch of exposition in the films or just
Yeah.
hope that they
I don't
watch.
I
think.
think they're gonna have to, I think, because I don't think
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah, I
expect
think
people to
they're gonna
watch
have to.
TV shows.
I think they're going to avoid the question as much as possible. They're going to put stuff in there. If you've seen the TV show, you're caught up. But if you haven't watched them, you're going to go, oh, okay, it's been a few years. I kind of guess why. That's why they're like that.
Yeah,
'Cause
maybe
the big one in my mind is where WandaVision starts and ends up.
that's true. Yeah,
So with Wanda herself,
that development.
that's a big change.
Yeah,
But I don't think they're going to touch on it too much.
no,
No, probably not.
cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of, I'm trying to think of a segue.
Here we go.
Speaking
on.
of Disney Plus series,
That's a good one. Yeah. Let's do that.
yeah.
Would you? I was going to do a terrible segue. There.
Do it.
Oh,
Would you
God's
say
sake.
that Loki is a bad batch? Cut
That was
it. Cut
bad
it.
shit. That was, yeah.
You need to ask someone directly because it sounds like you're asking me, but I
Matt,
haven't watched what you're
Would you
talking
say
about.
Loki was a bad batch?
No, I would not say that because it's the worst segue ever.
But you haven't
Seriously,
muted, by the way.
middle finger to me. That's just totally thrown me.
Oh my god.
Sure, why not? He's part of a bad batch. No. Well,
The time has come. Execute Order 66.
there we go. the time
Oh,
has
this is a
come.
Star Wars thing. I had no idea.
This
what
is
you
a
watched,
Star
by the
Wars
way.
thing, yeah. So the Bad Batch it continues on from the Clone Wars TV series,
Okay.
which is like an animated show on.
Yeah, I've just clocked what this is.
Yeah, I'm glad you guys have researched it.
Isn't that your fucking job?
They could have seen what it was beforehand. Jeez.
Why? I have you to tell me.
Oh, God's sake! All right.
I thought the Bad Batch was like the Cabbage Patch Kids, and it's just they've grown
To be
up.
honest, it sounded like a bad B movie.
It does sound like a
Oh.
B movie. It's not the greatest name, but that is just what this. So it follows the story of a group of clones, Clone Force 99, they're called,
Okay.
and they're all genetically defective clones.
Oh, okay.
You know, the clone troopers from
Batch
Star Wars.
of clones.
Yeah,
Just keep saying clone.
clone. So yeah, they are
Sorry,
the
Wayne.
bad batch of clones.
Right. Okay.
And this is quite interesting.
Bad from whose point of view?
I think just
Well, the
genetically
people who
bad
made them, I guess. Yeah, they're just genetically not the same as the other
Okay.
clones. But this is quite interesting because I think that what I'm aware of anyway. This is the first one to sort of explore straight after Order 66, where Palpatine orders the death of the Jedi, basically. So this follows on. It starts just before Order 66, and then it obviously goes through it, and this Bad Batch happens to be with a Jedi at the time of Order 66, and because they're genetically defective, they don't react to the Order 66, whatever it is, the Order. Their programming isn't the same as the other clones, basically.
Oh, okay.
So they're like, what the fuck is going on? They didn't say that because it's like
What the fuck?
like
What the fuck,
PG
kids?
TV series. What the fuck, children?
Younglings?
Get the fuck out of here. And they're like, so the other clones basically kill this Jedi. I don't know why I have to say it like that. Yeah.
Just a reflex.
And then they're ordered to kill the Padawan, who's he's a kid who happens to be one of the characters in Star Wars Rebels.
Okay.
What's the name of that
Yeah.
character? Oh, or is that a spoiler?
Ezra.
Oh god, it's
okay.
not him.
Oh.
No, it's not
I
him.
don't know. I just guess.
It's the older Jedi guy,
He's okay.
Caleb Doom, I think his name is.
I recognise the name Ezra.
right.
I didn't recognise the one you just said.
Yeah. Oh, what is his name?
He's the one who goes
Anyway,
blind.
he does go blind. Yeah, that's him.
Yeah.
I did not watch much of those shows.
No,
Just-
which is fine. I don't
Yeah.
expect you to have done, to be honest.
Yeah.
It kind of, I think you would need to watch the Clone Wars to watch this because it just follows on straight from it. It's basically just the 8th season of Clone
Oh,
Wars.
okay. So,
Okay.
just quickly, has the whole
Yeah.
series been released of this, or is it?
No, it's
Weekly.
episode by episode at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, so they've done 7 episodes so far, but they're only like half an hour episodes, so they're not anything long. And it's
Yeah.
kind of at the moment, it's kind of like building on the story, but it's mainly establishing characters. So it's like introduced one of the bounty hunters from the Mandalorian. It's introduced what the hell's her name? Fennec Shand, who's the one of the bounty hunters in the 5th episode of the first one, which I hate.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, the one who's like got a
Yeah.
good reputation.
Yeah. And then it's like it introduces someone else, Sol Guerrera, who's like
Oh, yeah.
one of the main
Oh, yeah.
characters in Rebels again. He's like,
Forrest Whitaker.
Isn't
go.
he meant to be coming back
Yeah.
or something?
oh yeah, he's in
Rogue One.
Rogue One, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's in it. Yeah.
But I'm sure there was something in the news that Forrest Whitaker was coming back for something.
Oh, really?
I don't know. I imagine
It might have just been the Bad Batch, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe they're doing. Maybe, yeah. I can't imagine they would have got him to voice it.
Pay them a lot of money, I assume.
Yeah. I'm sure they would. Yeah. But I don't imagine that's got that much money to go for it. There's also like they established Jabba's like sidekick guy. You know
With the funky head
Yeah, it was like,
scarf.
with the tentacle head. Yeah.
it was also at the end of right at the end of Mandalorian season 2, wasn't he? When he'd like,
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Come on,
yeah,
big
'cause,
fella. Big boy.
Yeah, Boba Fett comes out. Yeah.
man, how good was Mandalorian season 2?
Good.
That's not what we're talking about right now.
It's a great show.
How am I talking about
Yeah,
season
so
3?
this just follows the story of Clone Force 99, and they basically, there's another Bad Batch person who's like another clone, but it's like it's a girl.
Mm.
So it's the clone girl of the guy of Jango Fett.
That is a defect.
Yeah, I mean that's
Yeah.
weird, isn't it?
Yeah, that's interesting actually.
I mean, it's cool. Yeah, it's interesting.
Not
yeah.
that being a girl is a defect. It's not what I meant.
Whoa, Addison, Jesus! A girl can also be.
Jeez. Yeah, so it's quite interesting. I think the animation's pretty spot on. To be fair,
Is it very similar to the old one?
It's pretty much the same as Clone Wars. Yeah, it's.
Yeah. I'm never. It was one of the things that I couldn't really get on board with too much. I don't like that stuff.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah, I was about to say like
It's all right.
It's a style
fine.
that I just
I've
can't-
watched. I think
very
I've
Cartoon
seen
Network.
the first series.
Oh yeah.
So I
yeah.
can get past it, but I
Mm.
don't particularly care for it either.
It's very Cartoon Network animation. You know. It's
Yeah.
just simple 3D. It's a bit better in this because obviously it's got a bit more budget and it's a bit more. It's newer as well.
Yeah.
It's quite nice how some scenes they actually like. You could tell they're like drawn. It does look really nice.
Oh, really?
Obviously to save money, I guess. From instead of animating a whole 3D landscape, you just draw it.
Oh, I
It's
see.
actually
Okay.
pretty nice. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's really nice.
Okay.
But yeah, the characters they're fairly interesting. I mean, the guy who voices them all, he must be making bank.
Oh God, yeah,
He
yeah.
voices- He voices like 6 characters.
Is it? Is it the actor of like Django and Boba Fett?
Don't believe
No,
it
it's
is.
not. No, it's not.
Name
No,
escapes
it's
me. That must be quite like interesting for a voice actor to like play like
Yeah,
several
and
characters.
you've got to make
Yeah.
and because they're all clones, you got to make them all slightly different. It's interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
I imagine if you've got sight loss, it would be really hard to watch or listen to because you wouldn't know who the hell was talking.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah,
Even the
yeah.
personalities aren't like strong enough to help.
I think some of the voices are very different, but yeah, I mean, I imagine you'd struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's enjoyable. I'm enjoying it so far. I suppose it's pretty basic at the moment, I guess, but I can't expect much out of it.
Mm.
The stories are pretty good so far. You know, they're bringing back characters from older series and then they're introducing characters that are from newer series. So it's a good like bit in between stories. I think it's nice. It's that nice gap that you actually got that you haven't had from anything else yet in the Star Wars franchise. Because there's not. I can't think of anything that's straight after Order 66.
I'm sure there's like
in Star Wars.
books and comics and stuff, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there is that.
outside of
Yeah,
Yeah.
but there's no like TV or films or anything.
But they always seem to focus on the same periods, the films and TV shows. don't
Yeah,
they?
they do. Yeah.
You
So
do
this
kind of
is-
want them to go outside of that a bit.
Yeah, so this is like introducing some dark concepts where the Empire is now starting up, and you know you can see that they're just their ferocity of acquiring every nation, basically,
Yeah.
every planet. Yeah, it can be pretty dark, but
It's quite. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting, like spin.
yeah, it is. Yeah, it's
But yeah,
it's
it's
nice
definitely,
to see.
it's definitely a time period of that where you want to see a bit more, like how the Empire came up from it all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. And it's definitely interesting, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to like again like with the the what's the next series, the Obi-Wan series, how that's going to be within that
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of time frame as well. I think that's like a really unexplored area of kind of the Star Wars timeline at the
Yeah.
moment.
yeah.
Because they always there's been a lot kind of like post Return of the Jedi. It feels like, both in the books as well. I think,
Mm.
but yeah, it feels like this kind of between 3 and 4 era, I guess, is
That
Yeah,
a
seems
lot
like a
there.
dead zone, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, definitely. Cool.
Tenuous link.
Speaking of something else that was considered dead, Mark, you watched a film.
I'm
Mark,
dead.
you're dead.
Oh my
He's-
god.
Oh
he's-
my
he just
God.
died. Oh my god, call 999.
Too bloody up.
So you watched a film that was considered dead at one point.
Yeah. So I this week watched Amusement Park by George A. Romero.
For some reason, I thought this was an actual amusement park. Yeah, for some reason,
I imagine.
I know we spoke about this before.
Yeah.
For some reason, I continued to think that it was an amusement park.
Yeah,
and
I've
not
just
a
done the
film.
same thing.
Yeah,
Every time you talk about it, I'm like, oh, that sounds really cool. Oh, it's just a film.
Okay, so Amusement Park was created by George A. Romero in 1972. That was around, I I think it was like 4 years after he created Night of the Living
Mm.
Dead. So he wasn't an unknown at the time, and it was a year before he did The Crazies.
Mm.
So massive films.
Yeah.
However, he was commissioned in between, because I imagine you weren't making a ton of money from films in the 70s. I don't know.
No, probably wasn't. I think Hollywood
Probably not.
struggled at the end of the 60s, and then
Probably not from his zombie
Yeah.
films as well. I know he kind of is the father of the genre, to be honest. Kind of looked on at just amazing,
Yeah.
some of the stuff he's created. So basically, the Lutheran charity commissioned him to do a film about ageism.
Oh wow.
All right.
Sounds really weird, really niche.
Yeah.
Basically, it was so disturbing to them, they decided they weren't going to release it, and they shelved it.
Oh my god.
And then it's just kind of been forgotten about.
Yeah.
No one's touched it. And then in 2017, just before he died, it was passed back to him.
Oh my god.
And his wife went through it, and they decided that they were actually going to commission it and then put it up online so people could watch it. It's part of they've got like an archive feature, and they've got a foundation. That's where it came from. And then for some weird reason, it's an exclusive on Shudder. So
Okay.
that's how you can watch it in the UK. I think Shudder is US as well. That's just kind of a niche streaming service for horror.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I trialed it. It's actually quite good. It's got a lot of niche on there, but a lot of the horrors kind of are elsewhere. So
Yeah.
Fiverr, not bad. If you like horror, I personally love horror, so it's quite nice to go through some of the collections on there. And Amusement Park was really enjoyable. So it starts with
Is it a zombie film?
Yeah.
no, it's not. That's
Oh,
what I
sorry.
think the big thing is. His legacy is kind of zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this is more, it follows an old man. He goes into an amusement park, and basically the way he gets into the amusement park is by selling all of his belongings.
Oh my god.
So
As you do.
that's how they
Pretty
kind of
dark.
they lit
Do you
him
reckon
in.
people do that at
Yeah,
Disneyland?
it's- probably now they do.
Yeah.
It's bloody expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it follows 70-year-old Lincoln Maisel.
It's a good name.
He kind of opens up to kind of fourth wall break, talks about ageism, and that's kind of how it's bookended as well. So he finishes.
Such a
I'll come back to
strange
that
intro.
a little bit later. I know.
Yeah. I'm like that could go either
and then-
way.
Yeah.
And then he kind of goes into the fun fair. He's surrounded by a lot of elderly people, all that are pawning their heirlooms just to get into this overpriced amusement park. It's really weird. They kind of get turned away from certain rides. They get their like pockets picked. They find themselves like scapegoated for like minor like accidents. There's like a bumper car. Like bumper cars hit each other, and all of a sudden it's like this pretend real life crash. And then because the old man's seen it, but he's not really glasses, they start blaming him. I think the really weird thing about it is it's not scary, but it's just so menacing.
Mm.
Yeah, it sounds like a
And actually, that tension kind of just makes you feel anxious.
Yeah.
I'm kind of watching it like I need a bit of a break.
Oh my
here.
God.
Like it's just relentless.
it feels like a bit like a film that has a lot of like that paranoia feeling in it from what you're saying. Like
Yeah, there's a kind of a lot of times where the music ramps up, and then you'll get just absence of sound altogether. You'll get people just disappear. People come out of nowhere. One of the rides is like basically an overcapacity care home, but it's meant to be like a haunted house that he's in.
oh my god.
But it's what George A. Romero's done with the camera in there is just it kind of what he's done with his horror films.
Yeah.
It's quite scary and so overwhelming. I wasn't expecting to really like this. I thought I'll give it a
Yeah.
watch. 1973, it was a lost film. It's come
Yeah.
back, cool. But yeah, it was a real surprise, and to think this was meant to be like a commissioned film on ageism.
Yeah, I was gonna say
So
actually
weird. Yeah.
kind of a
like
horror.
does it feel like it's really like pushing the message a bit too hard? Is it quite on the nose with like its message or
Yeah, it kind of felt like I think this is a bit of a niche one for, especially because we've got American listeners. You know that advert with the little girl crossing the road, and then the car hits,
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
and then it's like if you drove at 30,
What?
I wouldn't be dead.
Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
it's like those adverts were like so heavy,
Yeah.
like a bit too much. I think obviously they got complained about a lot, but it hit the point.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think with this, it felt like I'm getting the point here. Like this guy is completely being disregarded. No one cares what he's saying. He's selling all his stuff to even have a house. Well, essentially this place that he can live in, which is the amusement
Yeah.
park. And it's just scary.
Yeah.
And he starts losing kind of like reality, to be honest. And you start losing reality with him.
Oh wow.
So Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's just a bit full on.
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
Yeah, it sounds it.
How
And
long is it roughly? Do you know?
it's 53 minutes.
Oh,
So it's
wow.
not.
All right, it's short
It
then.
essentially is just what it was meant to be, like a commissioned film, but not a full feature
Yeah.
film.
It's such a weird thing to commission.
And then
It's so strange.
I know it's really
Yeah.
strange. And then it gets bookended with Mazel saying basically, I think I'll read it word for word. So he said, "We are separated only by the passage of time. From the victims whose horrendous fate you just watched, consider taking positive action while you are young enough to be a positive influence. I'll see you in the park someday." And then the
I
film
don't know why that line made me laugh. I'll see you in the park one day.
Which park?
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really quite creepy. But I think the cool thing that's come off the back of it is that this is kind of the first project of the Desrocha Romero Foundation. So they've set up a George A. Romero Foundation since he died in 2017. And it's supporting new indie horror filmmakers.
Oh,
Alright.
okay.
And I think
Okay.
also the intention is to kind of elevate that George A. Romero wasn't just
Zombie
the
guy.
film.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
Obviously, that's what we kind of know him for, and because he was at the pinnacle of it, wasn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Because when I just before we started, I thought I'll quickly look at the synopsis. And I think it was like, yeah, this guy goes to a amusement park and then ends up in a nightmare. And I was like, oh, okay, so there's gonna be like zombies. And that was like my first instant thought was like, oh, there's gonna be zombies then, because it's like George A. Romero. But it's nice to know that he like, yeah, managed to like create something that wasn't in that genre.
Yeah, because I've read some things where before he died, he did say it kind of felt like it wasn't anything to do with his kind of style, but actually, it almost is kind of the perfect version of what Romero.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I didn't expect to like this. I really was going to go in there. I thought I'll watch it. It's found cool, but I loved it actually. I was really quite surprised.
That's really cool, actually.
Yeah,
So-
that's good. Yeah.
So is it just on this Shudder, or can you get it on Prime and stuff, or is it?
You probably can get it somewhere else. I think maybe on Prime you have to pay for it.
Yeah.
But Shudder is the place you can exclusively get it
Oh wow.
with I think it's £5 or a week free trial.
Cool.
Very cool.
But yeah, if you want to watch something that's a little bit jarring, makes you a little bit anxious. Some people like that. Some people hate it.
Yeah.
But I'd recommend.
I think
it.
yeah, if I come across it, I'll give it a go. I just like I love the idea of like a lost film being kind of like edited and
Yeah, just hidden away for 44 years. Yeah. It's a
yeah,
strange concept.
it's like this mystery film that's just kind of reared its head.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Right, segue. Speaking of directors who created something that veered off from what they're usually known for, I played or completed rather Death Stranding, the PC version. So I got this. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
So I got this on PC just about when it came out. I want to say it came out in 20. Yeah, it must have been 2019.
Yeah, I think
midway.
it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and I got the game soon after it came out. I hadn't played it on PS4 yet. And I started playing it obviously just after I had bought it. And I played the first kind of few hours, and I was like, this is interesting, but like it didn't like grasp me yet. And then 2020 happened, and obviously COVID happened, and all of a sudden I was like, wow, Death Stranding really kind of like there's a lot of like comparison that you could draw with like COVID, with like
Yeah.
the reliance on like couriers, the whole like everyone interacting digitally, being afraid to kind of come out. Oh, like in Death Stranding, they kind of live in these like bunker cities, and they go out. There's like dangers and stuff, and it was kind of around about I think it was like Christmas time of 2020 that I just like suddenly dived back into it, and I just like really started falling in love with this game. I just really like I don't know, there's something about it. Something with like COVID just made me like really respect the game more.
Okay.
A really
That's
weird
fair enough.
moment.
Yeah.
So the kind of premise of the game is you play as a courier called Sam Bridges, and yeah, you kind of play. It's set in like I guess it's like a post-apocalyptic United States, and the kind of main aim of the game is that you have to kind of travel across the US and hook up these various cities to what's called the chiral network, which is basically the internet. And the kind of metaphor is you're reconnecting America. But
Too late for that.
yeah, too far gone. But Matt, I know you've kind of got this recently, and you've been playing a bit.
Yes, I've actually played quite a lot of it so far. Yeah, I was
what
playing
you think
it as we started this podcast, pretty much.
Mm.
I mean, I was pessimistic going into it because you both said Addison and Sam both played this, and they both
I
said
played about 2 or 3 hours,
Oh, so
Oh,
I
okay.
probably play more than you now then.
probably.
Yeah, so
So did you dislike it? So that's
Yeah,
why
I
you
didn't
stopped.
like it. Couldn't get
see
on with it.
that's what put me off playing it, I think, initially. And then
Yeah.
it was on offer. It was like on sale, so I thought, do you know
I
what?
kept hearing there was one of those ones where you just kind of need to push through those first like 5 or 6 hours or something
Definitely.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I got 2 or 3 into it and went, nope, can't do it. Don't want.
I think
to.
that's a lot to ask. Yeah.
Yeah, I got really bored.
Mm,
I just
yeah.
felt like I wasn't doing anything interesting.
It is a weird one because, like, whilst I ended up really loving this game, I find this one really hard to recommend unless I know someone like their specific interest in games. Like,
Would you ever have recommended it to me?
I
No.
don't know.
Because I do think it's because I still own
Oh,
it.
you like-
I probably will at some point try it again.
Yeah,
I'm not sure I'll start it again or just continue the save I have.
I think just continue. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's definitely one of those games where, like you said, the first couple of hours. I mean, it's quite interesting to hear, Matt, that you were fine with the first few hours, but I think I struggled with that. I was a bit like, what is this game? Where is this game going?
Mm.
And it gets more rewarding as you play it. I felt like you start
What I've
getting
heard.
new. Yeah, you get like vehicles, new equipment, guns, and it just
Yeah.
gets crazier and crazier.
I think that's
I've
kind of
just
what
got
I
the first
heard.
gun. Yeah.
But
Oh,
my
yeah.
reaction to that was, well, I don't like what I'm doing anyway. Equipment's not going to help that.
Yeah, yeah,
You'd be surprised.
Fundamentally, I
think.
don't enjoy what I'm doing.
yeah.
I think you'd be surprised actually because
Maybe.
like the trips become more complex, I would say, and there's more obstacles in your way on the trips that you do. That's what I've found so far.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
you also, I think, for me, the strongest part of the game is the way it kind of like it's kind of multiplayer aspects.
Yeah.
It does this thing where
This was the notes, wasn't it?
well, kind of it. Yeah, so it's kind of like Souls games because they leave notes.
Which is
isn't it?
exactly what I was going to mention.
Yeah, it's like that, but with a whole other level kind of added
Okay.
on top of it. So as you start to connect up these cities to the chiral network, you kind of unlock, the zone goes online, and when you do that, you start to see structures that other players have built. So, like,
Okay.
as an example, you get these
Yeah.
devices where you can do like 3D printing in the game. And you can print like zip lines. And there were times when I'd come across like one end of a zip line. I'd go onto the zip line, but it hadn't gone anywhere. So I would like make the trip up to where I think it should go, plant the other end of the zip line, and then so other players could then find that later on.
That does sound cool, to be fair.
Yeah, and you get likes for it. Like people can like your stuff, and it adds to your stats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did that actually.
That sounds exactly like something that would be in a Souls game. But
Yeah.
You're right. It does have that extra little layer. of
It's
interactivity.
nice to see actually a bit of interactivity. It's
Yeah.
I did it earlier actually. I came to a massive wall and I was like, oh, I wish someone would have put like just a rope down so I could actually just climb it so easily. But no, I had to go all the way around. And on the way out, I was like, I'm gonna put a rope out on this wall because this is annoying. So I'll save someone else trying to do this. Yeah.
And it feels.
I always thought this with the Souls games when they have messages put down somewhere, and it will be the same with this, with where objects are put. To like, how many people is that actually affecting?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't imagine it's
millions
that
of
many.
people play these games.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
millions of people go past these same routes, put the same notes down. So what makes that one appear in that other game? Is it just a network? I never quite understood what the criteria for it was.
I know what you mean. Because I was thinking that because I'd heard about this before I played the game, and I was like, And at first I was like, well, am I gonna like start the game and then it's gonna be too easy because everything's just gonna be there?
Yeah, it's just like a zip line the whole way around.
Yeah. I was like, well, that's gonna be rubbish. But I don't know how they do a way of like filtering it, so it's not like
It's great.
everything's handed to you on a plate. You do have to like do the work.
Because I would have thought maybe
Must
something like that. You're in a server with a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
But in the Souls games, I'm not sure how it is for this. Your message lasts for days because I left a couple and I'd get votes on ones I'd put like a week ago.
Yeah.
So they last quite a while in some areas.
Yeah, it's similar with Death Stranding because there's a part in the game where there's like a half-built road and you can like finish it, and once you do that, like the amount of likes you get are insane. And that like every time now I'll log into the game and it kind of like just bombards me with like 500 likes. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like I'm grateful, but.
Like me logging into the Tepid Take Instagram.
Yeah, it's strange that you happened to come across it when there wasn't something there.
Exactly.
So you got the chance to build it.
Yeah.
Whereas clearly all those other people have got to it and you've already done it.
Built. Yeah. I don't know how, yeah.
It is very it's an odd one to think about. It's very strange. I don't know how it works, but it's very clever.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
I'm sure there's like a really super simple explanation, but
probably
I wouldn't know.
I find there's a lot of things that remind me of Metal Gear Solid 5, like just like the menu systems and everything like that. They're all very similar, I think.
Definitely, and even the way it kind of like just the animations of your character running and stuff. I found like and when you aim your gun, there's a lot of like MGS5 in it, despite it being on a different engine. I think it's the Decima engine.
Yeah.
I think we used to build Horizon Zero Dawn.
I must not have got to a point where the combat was good because I remember really enjoying MGS5's combat.
Yeah,
I'd definitely say it's not
whereas
combat
I don't
heavy.
remember enjoying Death Stranding's at all. But maybe I just didn't have.
It takes a long while. I say it's after 3 hours before you start even getting into combat.
I
definitely got into situations, but I think possibly I may have even been in the stage where you were meant to run away still. I'm not even sure if I had anything.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure I've played about 6 hours of it now, and I've only just gotten a gun. So.
Oh yeah, you're definitely way ahead. Not where I was. I've got one.
No, not
I think.
Sorry, I was gonna say I was surprised that I really enjoyed it to start with because I thought I think because I went in pessimistically, it helped.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but some of the scenes. The beach. There's some scenes on a beach, and they are pretty boring.
Yeah.
They're a bit of a slog. Yeah. Do you want to play the clip?
I'll play the clip. Yeah.
This is the clip I don't understand.
Yeah.
The beach goes the whole way. We run together.
Run?
Yeah. Like Mario and Princess Peach.
So bad.
Did she say Princess Beach?
She said Princess Beach. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a tiny bit of setup to that Princess Beach line, but it's still like that
doesn't
like
help.
just
the weird. It's just too out of context. Yeah.
And the whole like in the cutscene afterwards, they had this like slow motion running scene, and I don't know if Kojima is going for humor or like emotion, but whatever he's going for just doesn't land. And you're like, what the hell? And it's so out of place.
Watch. Yeah.
It's almost got to be like some sort of satire. That's the only thing like that makes any semblance of sense. But you're right, it doesn't land no matter what he's going for.
No, and it really like sticks out in the game as well because like
I would say I have only seen it ever out of context. So
same. Yeah, I've not seen it. I'm not up to that bit yet.
Yeah, in context, it's still not great. But yeah, I guess
I will say that Norman Reedus is pretty good in it. I haven't found out he's spoken a lot though. Yeah.
No, he's a bit more. He opens up as the game goes on.
That's good. Yeah.
But it's kind of crazy, like the cast in this. So you got Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah.
Which just remembering that he's in it makes me want to play the game again.
Yeah. And it's interesting how they do his scenes. Matt, you must have seen these. Like
the flashbacks. I've only seen the flashbacks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I ever saw him in my playthrough.
Oh, okay,
right at the beginning, I'm not sure.
But yeah, the little baby thing, you kind of see it from that perspective, the point of view.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, and it's got like the guy who plays Joel in The Last of Us.
Troy Baker.
Troy Baker, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh yeah, he plays a villain, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of intrigue, and I wanted to know what was going on in the game, but just it was fundamentally what you were doing for the missions and stuff.
Yeah.
I found really dull.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah.
Because it is you are
yeah.
a delivery man, and that is what you're doing.
It's definitely a grind.
Yeah.
But yeah, for some reason I enjoy that. I don't know why. I quite like the delivery
Yeah.
of things and just like
Yeah.
Maybe I
plotting
need
paths.
to be a bit. If I go back having those low expectations, I might enjoy it more now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
For
yeah.
me, it like I kind of have a bit of a problem with like open world games. Like I'm not the biggest fan of open world games in general, but this one I felt like there was more purpose to it being an open world because you have to like traverse that open world. Like it's all about that. Whereas I find some games it's just like get here.
It's there for the sake of it.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed the game, but it's definitely one that I find hard to recommend.
Yeah.
And I totally get if people just don't like it. If it's not for them, like I get it. Like it's very niche, I find.
Yeah. Me and Sam were talking about this yesterday, and we were saying it's one of the most unique games, especially recently, that you will play because it's just the concept of it all.
So original.
The story is so original. It's just it's Kojima because he does that so well.
Yeah.
He definitely has a very distinct style.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And it's just like it's very sci-fi without being sci-fi. It's a good line to tread, I think.
Yeah, I
in
love
in strangeness and uniqueness.
Beautiful art design as well.
Yeah,
everything, all the designer stuff. I'm like, so
it looks amazing.
I
I did love the world building, but it was just the missions that were putting me off.
Yeah.
I had a couple of questions. One was, how long was it for you to complete, Sam, or have you completed it? You may have said
it was only 120 hours.
I know that if you just do the main deliveries, it's like about a 36-hour game, so still quite long.
Which I never do. I always go looking at every single corner.
Yeah, so I did like a ton of side missions, and I think I've put about 80, 90 hours in it, maybe something like that.
Yeah, it's a long ass game.
Yeah, I had to take some breaks in between. I will admit that. Like, I had to take a little break and come back to it, so it felt a bit fresh again.
Yeah.
There's an element of tediousness to it, I guess. But
which is what I couldn't get over, I guess.
Yeah.
In that early stage of the game.
If you were working for Deliveroo, you could got paid for them hours of delivery. Be minted, right?
90 hours.
What am I doing?
90 hours. You'd have
Stranding.
A little bit of money.
I was also going to ask, because one of the main reasons you wanted to talk about this was the director's cut or something has been announced.
Yeah.
On PlayStation 5, yeah.
So what is that adding, or what is that?
It hasn't been detailed yet. My speculation is that some things that will get added that are already in the PC version. So
so the PC stuff has stuff that's not in the PlayStation one.
Yeah, it's more like DLC stuff. They did a bunch of Cyberpunk DLC, just cosmetic stuff. Well, no, actually, some cosmetic.
There's power.
Yeah, some cosmetic, but some actual gameplay stuff, like stuff where you can like track locations easier and loads of different things that you can do. And that's not currently in the PS4 version, so I assume they'll bring that over. But we might as well go into the Summer Game Fest off that. So,
talking about tedious.
That's not even a tenuous link. That was just straight in.
I should have kept going.
The best links we've done, to be fair.
I was going to make a Death Stranding.
What else is tedious?
Summer Game. Did you find it tedious?
No, it's all right. It's just some of them were just silly.
Yeah.
Like I'll say this now. I watched the Bandai Namco one last night, and it was one game. And it just stopped abruptly as well. It was really strange. I'll talk more about it later. But...
Yeah.
That,
yeah,
that was E3, not the Summer Game Fest, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was
it
part of
was,
E3.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll quickly touch on the Summer Game Fest because there's, I guess, like we'll get to the big announcement. But yeah, in the Death Stranding director's cut trailer, they did a heavy reference to Metal Gear Solid where he got into like a cardboard box and stuff, and I was freaking out because I was like, "What the fuck? Oh my god, he's doing Metal Gear!" And then I think it was just like a fun little trailer.
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't really.
You got to be really
understand.
careful because of copyright, I imagine.
I know. Yeah.
I didn't really understand the purpose of that trailer because it doesn't show you anything at all. It's not.
It's a nothing trailer.
It's almost like it's hinting that he's going to team up with Solid Snake or someone, but it's not doing that. You know, it's not doing that.
Yeah.
Never going to happen.
Yeah. It was just a bit bizarre, but I guess that's his thing, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not getting back with Konami. But my taking from the teaser, or whatever you want to call it, trailer, was that there's going to be more indoor missions. I feel that are a bit more stealth based. Maybe you have to like go steal some delivery or something like that.
Yeah. So he's kind of saying he's going back to his roots a little bit with the stealth.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the bigger reveal was the Elden Ring trailer. Addison,
I'm so excited for this.
how excited are you?
I'm very excited, and the fact that it is coming out in 6 months is just because it's they've announced it for January 2022, and up until this point we had one teaser from E3 about 2-3 years ago, and that was about all the information that was officially released. Everything else was leaks.
Yeah.
So they
It's
finally
the George
dropped...
R. Martin one, isn't it?
Yeah. So of course it was going to take ages. But they finally dropped a gameplay trailer with some story beats included within it, but it's a From Software Souls-like game, so it's all going to be obtuse anyway.
Does that, because you're a fan of like the Souls kind of series, aren't you?
Recently converted, yes.
Yeah. Does that excite you that it is a Souls game, or would you prefer it to be the same thing?
No, I love the fact that it's a Souls game. I've wanted because I've only played them very recently to a point where I can actually complete them.
I mean, that's an achievement. I can't do that.
So I still have Sekiro to go in on, which is their newest sort of within that genre.
That looks really cool. That one.
But being like around for when one is dropped and like a new IP as well. I'm just really excited for that. And that's especially so cool. With the way they've been speaking about this one being more open world than the other ones, because the other ones all play a bit more like a Metroidvania, if anything.
Yeah, definitely. It does feel like a Souls game is kind of perfect for like a George R. Martin world as well. Obviously, Game of Thrones, there's a lot of death and like darkness and that. It feels like Souls is perfect.
I am very interested to see how much influence of his you can kind of take on, because I would say most of us only really know him for Game of Thrones, which is where it began very grounded and was taking influences from real world historical events and then kind of twisting them into this fantasy world.
Did he do some sci-fi books?
I think he has, but I haven't read it. I'm not even aware of any titles.
I think he used to write for TV as well.
I think he's done a lot of scripts.
Yeah, what's that famous? The Twilight Zone. I think he did a few.
Oh right,
really? Okay.
I think so.
So it's saying that he's doing the lore, not the writing, could be quite interesting because he obviously has these deeply vast,
great world building
histories and lore and world building, just all that.
It's the lore, definitely. Yeah, the lore side of things is definitely with him.
But I'm glad to see that in the trailer they're still keeping their fucking weird monsters and creatures.
Yeah.
Oh, there was definitely that. Yeah.
I have fallen in love with the little pot men.
They've blown up a little bit, haven't they? I've seen that they've got like a whole Reddit thread.
They are amazing already. And whilst I can almost guarantee they're going to be villains, like all the easy bad guys you have to kill, I kind of hope not. Just look so cute.
Hopefully, you're going to have one as like a pet.
That's kind of what I hope. Just one you kind of like drag along. So I'm super excited for this.
Are the Dark Souls games? Do they have much story elements? I don't really know.
Yeah, but it's all very.
Is it quite loose?
Like in texts and stuff, isn't it?
No, it's
Oh.
not. They don't actually do a
okay.
lot of text. It's more the characters will talk to you, and they'll mention stuff, and then the
Right, okay.
text only really comes in on loading screens or open
Oh.
descriptions. It's not
Okay.
like a
saying
Bioshock
you're
where you're
dead.
picking up diaries.
Yeah,
Was that
yeah.
Marc?
Or like Skyrim, I guess.
So they're all saying you're dead.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
This is part of the law. You're dead.
yeah, you are dead.
yeah. Yeah, so
Yeah.
there are stories, and it's kind of weird. Like I kind of know the story of Dark Souls 1. To explain it would just be next to impossible. You just kind of have to. It kind of gets taught to you as you're playing it more than
Yeah.
anything. Yeah, you're not playing through a story as such.
Are they kind of like really like? Is the law? Does it have a lot of depth to it? If like you really dive into it, are there
If you
people
dive
who,
into it massively,
Yeah.
and obviously them getting George R. R. Martin is like possibly half a marketing scheme, so they're going to probably do it even
Yeah.
more in this one, and then being open world as well, that just adds even more to it. And
Yeah.
apparently it's going to have some form of co-op, whether or
Oh,
not
yeah,
it's like
that's
the old
interesting. Yeah,
ones
yeah.
or not.
Right.
Not sure.
We should move on because we've got lots of ground.
We should,
to cover.
yes.
Yeah, so that's the kind of main things I've taken out of Summer Game Fest. I haven't really seen much else come out of there that's really like
No,
caught my eye.
No, it was the only thing that really caught my eye.
Yeah. But then going on to E3. So yeah, a lot of showcases. We had like Bethesda and Xbox teaming up. Nintendo had theirs. Ubisoft. Matt, you right?
Was Battlefield part of Summer Game Fest?
No, I think it was.
I think it was.
Oh no, you're right. Yeah, I think it might have been.
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Because E3,
I think I
EA
think
haven't
they-
done their thing yet. They're doing it in July.
No,
Yeah.
but it got mentioned in a few other ones, didn't it? Later
I
on.
think
It
the
did.
original
Yeah.
trailer was Game Fest, and then possibly some of the gameplay was E3.
Yeah, they had gameplay on the
Yeah.
Xbox one, I think, didn't they?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I think
Yeah.
it was. Yeah, no, it was the Xbox one.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
that's the one I watched kind of half live,
Yeah.
and I caught.
So, what were your guys' kind of favorite showcase? Would you say?
Well, just the showcases.
Just
the
like
Xbox
yeah,
is
like
winner by a
brand-wise.
mile.
Xbox
yeah.
is by
I
miles
think
the best
Xbox
one, I
killed
think.
it, to be honest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Like I know.
And Bethesda.
thank
Yeah,
fuck, because we
Bethesda and
all
Xbox.
invested in
Yeah.
Xboxes recently.
I was going to say, before we
Yeah.
move off that, you said about Battlefield,
Yeah.
the trailer, where he jumps out of the jet and shoots the RPG.
Oh, such a
That
good
is,
moment.
that is such
yeah.
perfect fan service as well, because that's a video from way back, isn't it? Of a user. that did
Yeah.
Oh,
that.
is it? I didn't know that.
And they've got
Yeah.
he actually streamed himself watching the trailer, and he was losing his mind. It's so much fun.
They've this is Battlefield. This is what you can expect. It's actually quite nice to see.
I don't know why it has hit me so poorly, but I hated that trailer so much.
Really?
You? I really
about-
enjoyed
I
it.
don't know why.
Yeah.
There's just something about it that like deeply, just I hate it.
Really? Like
Yeah,
really?
like
hates it?
properly.
Don't you want a wingsuit in a tornado?
The gameplay was
Boys
okay.
KB is so low.
Yeah, the gameplay video wasn't bad. I didn't mind that, but that trailer I hated with a passion.
Really?
I
Oh my
don't know
God.
why it hit some
Was that a Matt?
deep within my core.
That is a man.
Yeah.
100%.
Addison's
man.
most hated game trailer ever.
Yeah, that is a
There
massive.
were way
Wow.
worse trailers that week. Oh my god.
That's really interesting because
Yeah, you guys were all texting about it, like going, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" And then I got
Yeah.
to it like the day
you're like
after, and I was like, "No, no."
I think
yeah.
for me, I'm happy that they've stepped away from like World War One, World War Two era now. Although the World War One felt a bit fresher because you don't really see that much in games, I guess. But
Was
was
a
Battlefield?
Battlefield for a while. Yeah.
Yeah,
Battlefield 1 did the World War 1 and 5 was
Yeah.
World War 2.
Two,
It kind of
yeah.
disappointed me they moved off it so quickly because there is, like you said, barely any World War 1 games.
yeah. It
Obviously
would have
now
been interesting.
COD's moving, isn't it? I think COD's moving towards a World War 2 game.
There was a lot of World War games at one point.
Yeah.
Battlefield did a
Pretty easy
ton of them.
period.
I'd say the noughties was just full of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Shooting
Technology
Nazis
in
was a good
Battlefield did
noughties.
loads.
Sorry,
What?
Marc?
I said shooting loads of Nazis during the noughties was a good noughties.
I thought you were making a
got-
pun about naughty for a sec.
The vibe I got from it, because it's based in the future, like 2042, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the vibe I got, I remember when I used to play 21, I think it's 2142, Battlefield 2142.
Yeah.
And that's obviously set in the future as well, funny enough. And it gave me massive vibes from that game because I played that a lot as a kid, and it was all futuristic. You had like mechs and stuff like that. I don't think there's any mechs in this, but
Yeah.
should be
See, I have literally no attachment to any Battlefield. I never played any growing up.
Yeah.
It was
also the
Battlefield
first
1
game.
or 5 was the only one I ever played.
Yeah, it was also the first game that I played that was 64 player online.
Okay.
Oh wow!
And this came out a long time
achievement.
ago. It was like 2004 or something.
Yeah, it's crazy because I'm saying with you, Addison, I haven't really played many kind of Battlefield games. The only thing I really remember it for was when I think it must have been like one of the Modern Warfares was out. I think Battlefield kind of started coming up, and I remember people were switching over to it because it felt like a more serious game. That's the kind of reputation it had for a while.
Yeah, which is what I always thought it was, which is possibly why this trailer confused me so much.
Yeah, I think it definitely is a break from form in a way.
Yeah.
But then Bad Company, I found Bad Company weren't that serious.
Okay.
Yeah, because they were the silly versions of those, weren't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but they were the most popular ones. So.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah.
That was definitely in that, like,
again, I played that when I was younger.
Era, wasn't it? Where
shooters
were just the big thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. Again, I played that a lot as a kid or teenager, probably by the time that came out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got a lot of nostalgia for it, I guess.
I'm definitely interested in the game. I just didn't like that game video.
Yeah, I probably won't go out of my way to buy it. I don't know if they're doing like free multiplayer. I don't think they've ever done that.
Is it not a Game Pass one? Because it was in their showcase.
I'm not sure.
What, EA? You reckon? It could be on EA Play, like it'll be on EA Play like 3 months later, probably.
Yeah, I guess it depends how it performs upon launch. If it doesn't see much sales, they'll probably just chuck on Game Pass eventually. But
Yeah.
I think I'm happy to wait for that one myself. Matt, do you reckon you'll get it at launch?
Well, if no one else is going to get it, I probably will.
Yeah, the only reason I will ever play it is to play it with you guys. So.
Yeah.
I might. It depends. There's no single player, so I kind of multiplayer on my own is a bit sad, isn't it?
Yeah. So, Addison, that was actually, I guess we already talked about one that you loved. But is there like another game from E3 that really stood out to you that caught your attention?
I guess I really wasn't expecting Breath of the Wild 2 to be featured, so that actually getting a mention and kind of a date that definitely is not going to happen.
No,
I was quite excited by.
Yeah. I think it's a broad date.
What is it? 2022.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah,
they'll be able to do that.
Yeah, they'll be able to do it. Whether
the
they will or
gameplay
not.
that they showed was like it looks solid already. So
yeah, it looked way better than anything else Nintendo was showing. And I mean, Breath of the Wild is still the best thing on that console by far.
Yeah.
I would say.
Mark, you're a massive Zelda fan. What was your reaction to seeing Breath of the Wild 2 trailer?
I think this is kind of a more of E3 trailers as a whole. Like, I do get excited, but I think until there's like a definitive it's going to get released, it is a little bit hard to get super pumped. I mean, you look at Cyberpunk, for instance. How many years was that from E3 trailers?
Yeah,
and obviously then ended up. Obviously, they rushed it, everything else.
Yeah,
but
I feel like
for me, I like when it's E3 is fantastic. You get to kind of watch what's going to come out. You get really hyped up about it, but then it's waiting a little bit down the line for it actually to come out, and then I'm like, okay, right, now I'm ready. So for me, like silly little one I really liked was Mario Party. I think Superstar. I really like the old Mario Parties, and it was nice to see that the N64. I think it's essentially Mario Party 2, if I remember rightly. On the N64.
That's what it looks like.
It looks
like one of those.
Yeah, it's like those 5 maps, the original games, because obviously they did the 100 mini games for the 3DS for Mario Party. Didn't seem like it really fitted there, because why would I want to play the mini games and not the boards?
Yeah,
So
that would be strange.
That is really one thing that always annoyed me about the Mario Party that's on the Switch currently. It was just there are 4 maps.
There's not much. There's not much to it, is there? Yeah.
I was surprised that because when they were showing the trailer, I was like, "Oh, this is DLC for the last one."
That's exactly what I thought.
That's exactly what I thought. Yeah.
And then when it was like its own game, I was like, "Oh, especially with it being like old maps. But
Money. They get the more money.
We could sell this new game for £70.
Yeah.
yeah,
I think the problem is as well is that, like Addy was saying, the Switch one came out 5 maps and it got pretty bland pretty quick. This one's got 5 maps. It's doing the nostalgia. It's got the odd mini games, which is great because I think my reflexes probably kicking on some of them, so I'm going to beat your asses. But it's the same again, isn't
maps.
it?
Well, I said
You got the
5.
gold one, haven't you?
No,
Gold,
the old
bomb,
one. Sorry.
watermelon.
Oh, right, I see. Yeah.
Gold, bomb, watermelon, thingy, one.
yeah,
That's it, isn't it? I think there's only 4 maps. I mean, yeah, there's only one more, but
I
yeah.
would have done more than 5 maps. If it's going to be the superstars of Mario Party,
yeah.
surely you'd have like 10 at least.
But then that's
That's
a
what I
weird one they
thought.
never released a DLC for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
They only recently did online, didn't they? Proper online play. Because it's been pretty weak
Yeah.
for quite a while.
They implemented it later on, didn't they?
Yeah. One game that staying on Nintendo that like really surprised me and I was like very happy to see was a new WarioWare game. Have you guys played any of the WarioWares before?
Yeah, I love it.
Never
I
been
think
a fan
the
of
big
that.
one that stands
No,
out
yeah.
for me is the Game Boy Advance one stands out for me personally. It's quite a niche one. I think.
Yeah, I
It
played.
was WarioWare 4.
Oh, okay, yeah. I heard that was a great one. I heard it like because what the games are really great at doing is like using the technology in really like clever ways. And didn't it? I swear with the Game Boy one, wasn't there some like gyroscope thing that it like revealed in the hardware or something?
On a Game Boy.
Yeah, I believe there was like a pack that you could add to it.
Oh, is that what it was?
Ah.
Yeah, I'm sure there's something that I've heard of before. The one I played was for the Wii. I think it was one of the early release games for the Wii. And it's like a multiplayer game. I don't know. They're absolutely insane. The games like proper wacky, but like I just found the mini games and stuff just really. I don't know. There's something so unique about them, and it's really clever. Like I said, how it uses the hardware. I'm excited to see how it uses the Joy Cons.
Yeah.
So I feel like it'll be like that. A big step up from kind of what 1-2 Switch tried to do.
I love
Where-
1-2
Yeah,
Switch.
yeah.
You do, don't you? Yeah. So you might like WarioWare then.
Yeah, maybe I will. So it is just like mini games, the game.
Kind of, yeah. Like
Yeah.
it's basically like a competition where it will just throw like a scenario at you, and it will kind of give you a clue as to what you had to do.
Pump up and down.
Are they multiplayer? Because that is
Yeah.
one thing that I weirdly feel the Switch is missing, like multiplayer games.
Oh yeah.
I do find it a bit lacking compared it to like the Wii.
Yeah, they are. From memory, the Wii one was multiplayer because I think you take it in turn, or you either do the scenarios at the same time, or you take it in turn, and whoever like fucks it up first, or you have
Yeah.
like 3 lives, whatever loses. So as a party game, I think it's going to be a big one.
Yeah, that's good.
Personally,
I think that's kind of the sort of thing I want from
Yeah,
that game.
Matt doesn't look convinced.
No, I'm never going to buy a Wario game ever. So
I will
I-
buy
I-
it. I'll
personally-
force you to play it.
yeah, I will not enjoy it. I can imagine. Yeah.
Unless
Wow.
the
Annoying.
reviews
I find it
are
really
like,
annoying.
absolutely amazing, I don't think I'll buy it either. But
No,
I'll keep an
yeah.
eye on it.
I just find it annoying.
Just me and you, Sam.
Yeah.
Matt, what was one of the worst games you saw, Matt?
The
That-
worst.
Oh,
games
I have one,
saw.
and you've got sound bites for it.
Battlefield.
I've got to look through my list of stuff. Hang on.
Or what do you think the worst? If you haven't got a worst game, what was the worst presentation?
I'm pretty sure I have a worst game.
You're like, let me have a look here.
Yeah, I don't know if I wrote it down. There were some awful ones. It was just like, I'll go back to the Bandai Namco one again. They showed House of Ashes, which is
Yeah.
the new
Dark Chronicles.
dark anthology.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
Dark,
Yeah.
dark Pictures, something like that.
Anthology, yeah, that's right. I always call it Dark Chronicles for some reason.
Yeah.
Dark Pictures Anthology.
Dark
yeah,
Pictures Anthology. It's the new one of that, and it's based in Iraq. It's like during like wartime, I guess. So it's quite an interesting concept.
Yeah,
But
it looks cool.
I find their games are a bit. The scares are really predictable, and the
God,
stories are a bit bland, and
Yeah.
they're again very
For
predictable.
me,
but
those are the Saw films, but games. You don't play them for the jumps or whatever. You play them so that when you accidentally die, you kind of go, haha, look how they died.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
really?
I think that's kind of one reason to play it, isn't it?
To,
Yeah,
like,
and you can
yeah.
play it with
create
friends as well,
deaths.
can't you?
Yeah.
So they do it in like co-op now.
Yeah. Interestingly for me, like I haven't played the other 2 that came before this one.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah.
this is the first one where I was like, I might jump in on this. Like, I love
It looked
the
interesting.
atmosphere of the environment. I thought.
Have you
really
guys
cool.
played
Until Dawn.
Until Dawn? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's
'Cause
all right,
It's
that's
it's
pretty
a long form version of these. Because
Whoa. Sam's not played Until Dawn.
No.
you should.
Yeah, get off the pod right now.
I'm
and go do
leaving.
it. Go play.
Someone else.
I
Take
don't
over.
think it's worth. I don't think it's
Show
that
you
good.
£7
Jesus.
It's
No, it's just one of them ones I think you have to play.
yeah.
Because that's a full version of those mini ones, basically.
Oh, okay. So how did these games play? Do they play similarly to like Heavy Rain or stuff like that? Or-
Within that sort of realm, yeah.
Kind of, yeah. A bit
That's what pissed
more
me off.
free flow, I find, but
Okay.
it's like quick time actions. Yeah, it's pretty similar. Yeah.
See,
I'd say Quantic Dream, who I think you do Heavy Rain, they do it better with like Detroit Become Human. I think it's just a lot.
Yeah, that's one I've
better
always
and-
meant to
yeah.
play, but not
Yeah,
got around to.
that's good. Yeah, it's interesting. That one is, but
yeah.
this
Is
one
that-
I find these are a bit more clunky and
Yeah,
awkward, and the characters are not very good. It's like the
Hmm.
actors are pretty meh.
it's all just a bit shit, really.
What do you guys think of this? It was a Ubisoft one, Rocksmith. What do you guys think of that? Like that?
Was that the one that's like, so the trailer or whatever had people playing real guitars?
Yeah, you can like learn guitar.
That looked quite cool to me. If
Yes,
it's what I think
yeah.
it is.
Yeah,
It's basically like guitar lessons, but they make it a game, isn't it? It's kind of
Yeah.
that's how I saw it. Yeah.
If that works like they showed, it would be amazing. I am
Yeah.
very doubtful it'll actually work like that.
I think I swear, like one of my friends from home had it. I've never seen them play it, but I specifically remember them talking about a game where it teaches you to learn guitar, and it must be this because I haven't had of anything else like it.
Mm.
But I was looking at this like I'm gonna learn guitar. I'm gonna fucking do it.
Yeah,
get
I bought a guitar earlier this year. And
Oh,
I've
no
been
way,
trying to
yeah.
learn.
I've got
Sam's
one.
guitar
We're not
as
making
I
well,
don't know how
man.
to play the guitar.
We're not making a band.
Oh, the Tepid take. What a band.
Going on from that, in the
Tepid take
in the PC one,
Yeah.
oh no, what is that? Upload VR. So I think that's part of the PC gaming show.
Right. Okay.
There was a game called Unplugged, which is VR guitar, and it uses hand tracking on the Oculus Quest.
Oh
So
my
it is
God.
like you're actually playing a guitar
That's
in
cool.
That's really
VR,
You do air
and
guitar.
it's the
Jesus.
same thing. It's like Rock Band, so you have to
Like-
like, yeah.
Yeah.
So
that's
next
pretty
level
cool.
Guitar Hero.
Yeah, basically, yeah. So it's kind of building on that, I guess, and putting it in VR. I think it was solely for the Oculus Quest, which is the one
Okay.
with hand tracking. So
Yeah.
I thought that's quite interesting. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
But-
that's pretty cool.
For me, the worst one, I'll go back to what I think is the worst one. I really didn't like the Square Enix one because it's very like,
yeah.
oh, here's another pixel game. Oh, here's some mobile phone games.
I think yeah, the
Are they
main
the one that had the Guardians reveal?
yeah, they did.
Yes, which I actually
Which I
like
think
that.
looks wank,
But
by the way.
You think yeah, it
How
seems to
dare
be
you.
really divisive that one. Because
yeah, I'm sure it is. Yeah.
I know so Addison, you didn't like the look of that, did you?
Not at all. No, I
Not-
don't. I didn't like the style, the art style they've gone with for one,
Mm.
which is always a big thing for me. The whatever jokes they were making didn't land. I found. Yeah, it just didn't look like my sort of thing. The combat didn't look very good either.
Yeah, I think for me, because I was a bit like put off at first because graphics wise, it looked similar to the Avengers game. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh no, didn't like the look of that. But I don't know what it was about this one. I think like it
It's a
kind
bit
of
more
gave,
role playing game.
yeah, it kind of gave me
Yeah.
Mass Effect vibes a little bit.
Mm.
Yeah, I am like willing to absolutely eat my words on this one.
Yeah,
Because the
yeah.
concept sounds cool. A
Yeah.
RPG Guardians of the Galaxy game. What's not to like, really?
Yeah,
I just don't. I'm very wary of this one.
yeah,
I
yeah.
can see it being an absolute turd.
Yeah,
It
I mean,
very well could be. Yeah,
Square Enix did Avengers as well, didn't they? So and
yeah.
that was a bit of a
exactly.
Which is just already not a good sign.
Yeah.
no,
that-
yeah,
that was a
they're adding
worry.
so much to it, but apparently it's still not great. So they need to
They've
do a No
apparently-
Man's
they've-
Sky on it. They really do.
They've also
yeah.
said it's a this Guardians one is an RPG that's going to have the same ending no matter what you do. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
okay.
why would you say that?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
funny because they in the trailer they're like, "Your choices matter." That usual line.
It doesn't look like it.
No, they
Yeah.
don't.
Nope. Did,
may have misquoted someone there, but I'm sure I read that somewhere.
okay.
Oh, that'd be awful if that was the case.
Yeah.
God. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was all very like pixel. It had a lot of like. I've never been a fan of Final Fantasy. Never ever.
Nope.
So
That was my worst trailer, I remember.
Yeah,
Oh,
have you got
yeah,
a
the
soundbite for this?
Final Fantasy Origins. Yeah, I
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
This
We are here to kill chaos. We must kill chaos.
this is a fake one, by the way.
My
This isn't the
quest
real
is
video.
to kill chaos.
Okay.
Chaos will die. I can't fucking stand chaos. It pisses me off. Chaos won't escape.
It gets the
Chaos
vibe.
killed my wife and fucked my dog and recorded chaos. I have
Oh
the
my
MP4 on
Alright, cut
MacBook.
it, cut it. Oh, someone across that state.
That trailer was just. It was.
Oh,
Yeah,
s-
that was a fake. The fake.
Yes, that
version of
that
it.
was a.
but it's
But-
pretty dead on.
But it was pretty accurate. Yeah. That it was just like, I love to kill chaos.
Chaos.
I'm like, oh my god, shut up! That chaos.
I actually
Jeez.
like went through and counted it. They say it 8 times in like a
8?
2.5 minute.
That's
That's
crazy.
I
more
was
than
like,
once is too much.
Like the
It was
last
long.
one
Yeah.
is
I am
hilarious.
become chaos or something, wasn't
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Then
you
he
know,
jumped
you're
down.
like, surely you can't say it. Surely you can't say it again.
But he wants to kill chaos, but he wants to become chaos.
it? No, different guy.
The
okay.
villain, I think, is
Oh,
chaos. I don't know.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah, that
Weird
was just a
phrase.
bit. It was just a bit. It looked a bit naff. It's everything I don't like about JRPGs. Just put in one trailer.
Yeah.
yeah, like
Oh, yeah.
it-
They always use the same music as well. It's like.
Yeah.
yeah. I know.
Unlike you, I've no interest in Final Fantasy. I've never played one, to be honest.
No, I
No.
just not
just don't
interested
appeal.
whatsoever. No, I think people like them a lot. That's why they're
Yeah,
making
that's a
many.
massive series.
And they like that formula. I think that's
Yeah.
not gone down well that they're changing the formula.
I am
think
sure I
that-
would like a
Yeah.
lot of them if I actually gave them a chance. I just
They are
never
good.
have.
Or some of them are good.
Yeah, I've always
Yeah,
meant to play
I-
15. I just never have.
7 is like the iconic one.
Yeah, which is the one
and
they're
I
kind of half remaking at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Half remake, yeah.
For me,
So
with Final
stupid.
Fantasy, I think like ever since they've added voice acting to it, I think it's really damaged the games because a lot of it is that kind of over the top kind of anime style voice
Overdubbing,
work.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably fine in Japanese.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Or it
Yeah.
might be. Yeah,
But
Yeah.
how it gets, I don't know if it's something to do with the translation or just the overacting of the voice actors. I think really because like if you play the original Final Fantasy on PlayStation, obviously they didn't have voices in that. It was reading text,
Yeah.
and somehow it just made like the tone of the game a bit more serious.
Mm.
But from some of the cutscenes I've seen from the remake, I'm like, oh, it just feels like a cheesy anime. Like it just really ruins the tone. I feel.
I love to kill chaos.
Yeah, it's like that kind of shit. Like,
Yeah.
chaos won't get in my way.
Chaos will rue the day.
yeah. It kind of reminded me of the serious version of the Outer Worlds 2 trailer.
Yeah.
Oh,
bit.
that was the
That was
biggest
a
piss
great
take of
trailer.
any trailer. I've actually got a soundbite of that. I'll
Yeah.
play it. It's
Yeah.
so funny.
Suddenly, and for no reason, people running. These pointless slow-motion shots make everything seem cool.
So accurate for every other trailer.
Yeah.
Oh.
That wah sound can mean only
You could do
one
that for
thing.
films as well, to be fair.
We must gaze over an epic shot of a world,
Yeah.
and there should be lens flares.
So
Such
So dead on.
accurate as
My-
well, yeah.
yeah.
I feel
That was
like
one game I
they-
wasn't expecting to see. I mean,
Yeah,
they didn't
no,
show the
definitely
gameplay,
not.
but it was just a piss take trailer. But I was not expecting them to announce it at all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my kind of favorite thing was like the only thing they thought of is the title, and they reveal the title as just the Outer Worlds 2.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought
yeah.
that was
it's
really
like,
underrated
We'll
joke.
just chuck a 2 on it.
Yeah,
They knew what they were doing. 100%
Yeah,
with that.
Yeah.
yeah. It's so funny.
Because they did. Is it Obsidian?
Yeah.
Is that the?
Yeah, they did Fallout New Vegas. Yeah.
hmm
That's right. And they also
Yeah.
did the. Oh, I'm bloody names today. The one when it's like Honey I Shrunk the Kids, the game.
Oh,
Oh,
grounded.
Grounded.
Yeah.
Grounded.
did
And remember-
they? Yeah.
The first trailer for that was very similar, like very
It
like,
was, yeah. very
satire.
piss take. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, yeah.
yeah.
So that was part of the Bethesda Xbox one, which
Yeah. It's amazing.
such a
yeah.
strong show.
Yeah,
There were so many
should we
games.
kind of talk about that as a whole because
Yeah.
they just
Yeah.
This is the presentation that people have been wanting Xbox to do for about 8 years.
Yeah.
It's great
Whenever they announced the Xbox One.
It's great because there was just no waffling. It was just like,
no,
here's a game, here's a game, here's a game. These 30 games are coming to Game Pass. I was like, oh, this is so good.
Some are available now. They put all those Bethesda.
You put loads of Bethesda games
up
on there, didn't they? Yeah, you could play like Fallout 1 and 2. Yeah.
Just so many games coming at you so quickly.
Yeah.
I think they ended up with like 30 or something, didn't they?
Yeah, 30 games just for Game Pass, I think.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
For me, the standout, and this is a game I've really been like hoping for, was Halo Infinite. It's just like,
I am so pumped for that now.
I wasn't pumped. I didn't think anything of it beforehand because like the old ones.
That's exactly where I was. I think we've even spoken about it on here before.
No.
We're half excited for it, but I'm now excited for that game.
Like 4 and 5, they're all right, and
they lost their way a bit.
Yeah, the 5th one, I couldn't even. I'd played the whole game, and I totally forgot I played the whole game.
Yeah, worst campaign.
Sam was like, "Oh, we need to play co-op together," and I was like, "Oh, we need to start from the start." And then I started playing it on my own, as you do. Yeah, and I was like, I thought this was 4. They just totally blended together. I can't remember 4's story. I could only remember 5's story now because I played it recently.
Yeah,
so I'm hoping. Sorry, no, go ahead.
I was gonna say, 4 definitely had the strongest story and campaign, but the multiplayer wasn't too great. And then 5 did the flip, where the campaign was really lacking. You barely played as Master Chief. They tried to introduce a new character called Spartan Locke.
I remember all the trailers for that.
Yeah,
so I've only ever played the first 3 and a bit of ODST.
Oh, okay, yeah. But this really feels like a return to form whilst adding new stuff to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It gave me like
the multiplayer looks so good.
It looks amazing.
I can't wait. I can't wait to hear this voice.
Killing spree. Sniper spree. Killtrocity.
I feel like
It'll finish eventually.
I feel like for our generation, you were either really into Halo or really into COD, and I definitely was really into Halo.
Same.
It was definitely the only real game I played online multiplayer, even back in like Xbox days when they were trying to get that started up.
Definitely. I even liked the even the campaign stuff. Even though it was like a cutscene, I thought even that really like it was some of the music stings that they put in it just felt so Halo.
Yeah, it really reminded me of I think it's the start of Halo 2. Where you take a bomb and kind of push it out of the air. Like he's doing that space floaty stuff. It was
very similar. Actually.
Marc, what do you think? Are you much of a Halo fan or?
Yeah, I do really enjoy Halo. I think the Master Chief collection, obviously being on Game Pass as well, fantastic to go through. And I think 5's on there as well, isn't it? As well as
it's on console.
On Game Pass, yeah.
It was one. I think every time you hear Xbox are doing trailers, your brain goes Halo.
yeah.
When it was, you go, oh, thank fuck, finally. It looked incredible, and I can't wait to play multiplayers together. I think it's going to be hilarious. I know you're going to flip a warthog on me.
Yeah, I genuinely cannot wait for all 4 of us to play that.
I'm so glad to hear that.
It's going to be laugh.
It's also coming to PC as well, which will make me very happy.
Yeah.
And you'll have an Xbox. But anyway.
Also have an Xbox.
That's pretty...
Nah.
What I thought was pretty cool was is that even on console it's going up to 120 frames per second, which obviously you've got to have the right monitor or whatever, but just that they put that option in on on a big game like that, I think it's pretty cool as well.
Especially multiplayer. I think it really helps with multiplayer.
Yeah.
It feels like they're moving towards the future now, aren't they? Instead of this, there's been a lot of straggling of PS4, PS5, and Xbox Series X. So I think it's nice to have about time where it's just going to be Series X moving forwards with like high quality.
Yeah, I really like the way Xbox is doing this. They're kind of putting what they can on the old ones, and then everything that needs to be on Series X is on Series X.
No, yeah, it looks like a return to form for Halo. Definitely, I'm well excited about it.
It's definitely one I'm going to watch, and I'm going to like as soon as reviews come out, I'm going to be like reading as many as I can to see if I'm going to buy it straight away or not.
Because we've all got Game Pass, it's going to be free to play, which is
fuck yeah, of course. So I don't even have to do that.
No, you can just
Ignore
play
everything I just said.
yeah. It's such a unique. Well, it's not even the unique. It's just such a good service that they're providing. It's just Game Pass.
It's insanely good, and the fact it's working as well as it is just.
For me, it's saving me so much money in buying games. It's
Definitely,
ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Stadia almost was like, here's what we could do, and you can play it anywhere. But it's like you've still got to buy the game.
Yeah.
And obviously, the connection actually was a load
and
of
the
bullshit.
cloud gaming.
What ended up
I'm not sure cloud gaming is the future. I don't know. It's not as.
No, I definitely think
because they're moving towards hardware, aren't they? Xbox.
Yeah.
They're saying potentially they're gonna do probably TVs and stuff. I won't be shocked.
Yeah, they're gonna do
built-in
sticks and stuff, aren't they? Yeah.
Surprisingly, I find I've played some of the xCloud stuff on my phone, and it does work. Like my experience with it has been really good, actually. Like I wouldn't play anything competitive, like competitive
you wouldn't play a shooter, no, definitely not.
No, that's fair.
But like playing on something like sounds like I'm trying to segue to this game, but something like Forza.
Oh yeah,
actually works really well.
Yeah.
Good segue, well done.
Yeah,
that did look cool.
Forza Horizon 5 looked great. I wasn't a big fan of Forza games before playing 4.
Yeah.
I mean, I played a lot of that.
I'm not a car game person at all. I never enjoyed them.
No.
My favorite is Mario Kart, which tells you everything.
It's a great game.
I mean, that's a great game. So,
cool.
yeah.
I mean, it is. Yeah. But it looked
I like
cool.
the fact it's in Mexico as well.
Yeah, the
nice.
environment looks really cool.
Yeah,
I think I struggled a little bit with 4. I think because what was it? One before it was Australia, and then last year's was Edinburgh, UK, and you can get to Edinburgh.
What a lovely place!
All right.
I drove into Edinburgh Castle on my last little drive
into it.
Forza.
Yeah.
I'm not great at driving. I never said I was. But I think the fact that it's now somewhere different and not actually the UK, I'm kind of looking forward to that. The game looks incredible. Like it's the first thing I played on the Series X.
It's great. Yeah.
Oh, it's a beautiful looking game. Like it kind of excites me actually because it's Playground Games, I think, and they're doing the next Fable game. I'm really excited to see what world they build. Like if they're building this for car games, imagine what like a fantasy world of theirs was going to look like.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely good at world building.
One game I wanted to touch on if we're done talking about Forza.
Yeah.
I guess we are.
Starfield was
of course
properly announced.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What do you
think? Yeah. I mean,
looks kind of cool. There wasn't much to it because it wasn't a gameplay trailer.
No, it's pretty limited, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the technology kind of aesthetic they're going for looks kind of cool.
Yeah, it's very realistic, doesn't it?
Kind of remind me of Alien, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good shout, actually. The other one, did you guys ever watch the film Moon?
I watched this like 2 weeks ago, actually.
Oh,
it's really odd. Yeah,
there's some weird aesthetic there that I linked them in my head.
Yeah, same.
Okay. Yeah,
very quite real, slightly futuristic, but within the NASA realm.
Yeah,
technology.
I am just hoping that doesn't mean that the worlds that you go to or whatever you do in this aren't too realistic and a bit dull.
Yeah, hopefully not.
I'm sure they'll smash it. If it's going to be like Fallout. I would never say
Fallout, but they haven't had the greatest track record recently.
No.
What, Fallout 76?
76, and I would even argue Fallout 4 a little bit.
I don't know.
Hit the mark.
No, Fallout 4 the story's not as good as 3, but the
I would also
gameplay is
argue
pretty
world
good.
Building. Gameplay's
great, yeah. And Fallout 76, it did have a rocky start, but me and Sam played a bit of that, and I've really enjoyed it.
From all I've heard, they've improved it a lot.
Yeah, it's way better than it was. Yeah,
it's having its own kind of No Man's Sky moment. I feel like they're releasing DLCs. It's kind of getting back on its feet.
Why couldn't it have been a game with a shorter name that did that? So you could just say like, "Oh yeah, they Fallouted it." Saying they No Man's Skied it. It's just a bit clunky in it.
They skied it. I know. Yeah. There's no way of doing it.
It's just because that was the first one to majorly fuck up, I guess.
Yeah. You could say they
they all do it. So
now it's the trend.
Now it's the trend, which is annoying.
Yeah, because they're kind of pitching it as like Skyrim in space, which as a pitch is pretty cool.
I'm glad it's gone with the sci-fi more Skyrim than it has Fallout, because Fallout is very silly
Yeah.
in a way. Whereas Skyrim's a lot more po-faced and a bit more down to earth. Like not down to earth, but
I know what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah,
Grounded.
well,
Despite
grounded.
it being fantasy.
Grounded fantasy,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to get too excited about this game because I
Yes,
love
definitely.
sci-fi and I love Bethesda games, so
This
I'm
is
trying
like
not to.
perfect recipe.
I have
I
lost faith in Bethesda, so I will be waiting for more information.
I will be
definitely.
getting it on. Well, that's how I get it. They release it, be on Game Pass, but
Yeah.
which is
being
again
an
great,
Xbox exclusive as well.
I know it's a good move on
great
their
get.
part.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. Honestly, it's
That's
kind
gonna make so many people buy an Xbox or a computer.
100%.
I'm not seeing a reason to buy the PS5 either.
Not
No.
really.
No,
Like Returnal
no.
hasn't really. The fact that like Returnal is a roguelite, or whatever the hell the phrase is, like that kind of really put me off that game. So
Yeah.
it's
Just the
so
name
much
put me
fun.
off.
Yeah, fucking
The name is
Returnal.
Returnal. Oh.
What the fuck is that?
What did you guys think of the release of the fridge, the Xbox fridge?
Genius.
Very fun.
Whatever
Very
marketing
funny.
team is at Xbox or Microsoft right now, I think they've just been crushing it, man. Like,
They
Yeah.
have definitely been on an upward trend, I would say.
Oh,
But
Xbox is smashing
Xbox as
it
a
lately.
whole, just
Yeah.
I know
they've got so much consumer goodwill. I think at this point.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Because I've got no investments in these companies, but I just get
No.
happy. I'm just happy to see Xbox making a comeback. I think it's just because
Yeah.
it's like I had the original Xbox,
Yeah.
had a 360, loved those consoles, and then Xbox One kind of had a rocky road.
Do you know one game that really surprised me was from the Capcom stream?
Oh yeah,
I didn't think
Yeah.
I'd ever want to play one of these games, but it was the Great Ace Attorney,
Oh yeah.
which is the Phoenix Wright.
Objection!
Yeah. It's
Those
Phoenix
are really
Wright, but
good. I've got those on. I think I've got them on Switch.
I've never wanted to play one before. Just never interested me. But the trailer for that actually looked like quite a lot of fun. There's a detective in it, and they call him Herlock Sholmes, which is awful. But
This is
Yeah.
that is literally the only thing I've heard about that game. Was that there was a character called Herlock Sholmes?
Herlock Sholmes, yeah, it's pretty awful. But
Yeah.
but the gameplay actually looked pretty good fun. I was really surprised. I did not think I was going to like that. Yeah.
No,
It was kind of the only thing in the Capcom one that I really wanted to get anyway.
they were quite light on content. There's like
Yeah,
Resident Evil 8 DLC, which will probably
that's the
be
problem.
good.
They've just had their big one come out. It's kind of difficult to. Yeah.
Yeah, like what do they talk about? I think
Yeah. Exactly.
one game that kind of it was a weird moment because I started off disappointed and then was like, oh, this is pretty cool actually. Was Metroid Dread, which is
Yeah.
the new 2D Metroid, because obviously they were like Metroid Prime 4 and they were talking about that. I was like, oh, here we go, and then they're like, but we've got this instead. So there was that initial disappointment, but actually I thought I quite like the 2D Metroid games. I played a couple of them before.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I
I've
was
never actually
hoping-
played one, but I've realised I really like Metroidvanias, having never played a Metroid or a Castlevania. Yeah.
So yeah, you'll
No
probably
knowledge
like
of
this.
the actual.
I probably will. I'm definitely excited to kind of go into it. At some
Yeah.
Something about 2D platformers really puts me off. I feel like I played
Really?
too many when I was young. I played way too
burnt
many.
out.
And I'm a bit burnt out with that in my
Oh,
whole
fair
life.
enough.
So yeah, but I was hoping it would be a first-person one, but
Yeah.
probably on the cards, I imagine. But
Oh well, Metroid Prime 4 will be
Exactly.
the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
person one, but
Yeah.
but I remember they had to restart development because they just weren't happy with what was being created, so it got
Hmm.
massively delayed.
strong move. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it must be the
Nintendo-
right move. They're pretty.
Nintendo-
They're originals. The Netflix originals. The Nintendo originals. Their games.
You've been sponsored.
Yeah, I reckon. Yeah. The Nintendo originals. They're always really well
Yeah.
polished, and
yeah,
there's
it's
very
rare that you
rarely
get-
any bugs or anything in them. They're always really
No,
good.
but there's always
Yeah.
something, isn't there? There's always something that like nags at you with Nintendo.
Like
I
what?
don't know. Maybe that's just me.
The price.
The price. Yeah, that is the bad thing.
For a
Yeah.
game I've played 100 times
Yeah.
already.
yeah. Nintendo's a weird one
Three
because
consoles. Yeah.
they can pull some of the greatest moves ever, whilst pulling some of the most
dumbest-
like bizarre
Yeah.
unobvious things ever. Like
Hmm.
when they do it right, they do it so right, but when they do it bad,
Yeah.
they do it really bad. There's no like middle ground
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Nintendo, I feel.
No,
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
not.
Mark, any
So-
surprises for you?
Massive surprise,
Surprise!
was Advanced Wars, what, 1 or 2?
Yes.
But they were awesome on the Game Boy. But it was
Oh,
the Game Boy, wasn't
God.
it, original? But the problem is, I think
Whoa.
the way the trailer went, it felt like Clash of Clans
Did Matt-
bullshit. Like that's the only
Yeah.
thing.
Did Matt just like gag at the Game Boy?
No, not the Game Boy. I had a Game Boy. I had a Game Boy Advance. But
What
the
you-
game,
What Advance Wars?
yeah.
Mark, I'm
Not
with
keen.
you, man. Classic
Not keen
Game
on
Boy
that
heard
one.
of this
Advance.
series.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this series.
I think it had to do some growing up based on the actual handheld that it's now going to be on. You look at the kind of Switch is a whole nother level from the Game
Yeah,
Boy.
yeah, definitely.
I do love the Game Boy,
Yeah.
though.
Oh yeah.
But it did feel like a mobile game.
A little bit.
The trailer.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that when I was watching it, I was kind of like, I think I prefer the Game Boy Advance style over this new upgraded 3D model. It's like it was a really weird one. I actually preferred the pixelated version. I just think I just feel like some pixel games just don't translate as well to 3D. I've always had that kind of with
Yeah.
Sonic for me. I much prefer like 2D Sonic compared to 3D because I think it just works better. But yeah, I know what you mean. It had that mobile game feel to it.
Yeah, it'd be quite cool. I'm kind of hoping they start pushing out a few more Mario games as well. Maybe Mario like Soccer Stars they did
Oh,
on the GameCube
yes,
on the Wii.
that was sick.
I'm really looking forward to that golf one. I think that golf one looks really cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
Addison,
Mario football was so good. I've got to talk about that. I remember I went on the holiday to Derbyshire once, and I took that game. I don't think I went outside the whole week.
They're like, come play football, Matt. You're like, I am.
I am. Can you not see? I'm using my super attack, or whatever it was. My ultimate.
Yeah, he scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
Staying on Mario, I want to quickly run one past Addison. What do you think of the sequel to Mario plus Rabbids, Addison? Because I think you quite enjoyed the first one, didn't you?
All right.
Yeah, I didn't mind the first one because it was just XCOM, but Mario.
Yeah.
I hate Rabbids. They're so annoying.
They are like the minions of the gaming industry.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
weird
Yeah,
that they came
they keep
first.
coming back. Why
And
would
I
they
also
die?
can't believe they came from Rayman.
So weird.
Yeah, really weird.
Yeah.
But the game was it was fine. It was. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
get like super excited or anything about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was similar to me. I was watching it, and it's just the rabbits. If the rabbits were taken out,
They
I'd
are
respect
well
the game a
annoying.
lot more.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're not like in those. You know how the minions just always turn up on Facebook news feeds
Yeah.
and those like quote things. I'm surprised they haven't done that yet.
Well, it's because
Like,
boomers
how-
haven't discovered video games.
And that is it. We hope you enjoyed listening to our Tepid Take.
If you want to send us your tepid takes, then email us at thetepidtake@outlook.com.
And give us a follow and a like on Instagram at The Tepid Take.
And we've been the fucking what's it called again?
Didn't talk about Avatar, but it's not much to talk about really.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot. I didn't actually. I
Hang
forgot
on,
to
hang
make a
on.
note
This
of
is the end line after the thing. Avatar was also there.